occasion. He was top of the qualifiers on Friday night and amazingly left all his heroes behind. Showing us some really nice spin tricks and a McTwist here. Friedel Kohler, 19 years of age. Coming up, the world's best halfpipe snowboarders talk about their sport. But ultimately were pretty fluid riding. But despite some high frontside airs and a clean McTwist, sadly, he couldn't finish with a clean run. And no semi-final for him. That was the end of his contest early on Saturday. Then there was Brett Carpentier from Canada, who had an incredibly good start to the season. But Brett wouldn't make the cut. He's one of the North Americans preparing for the Olympics. One of the favorites for the event, in fact. Going high is what he's known for. Look at that great height. But unluckily, couldn't stick the 900. Good night, Brett. And Jamil Khan, we were hearing from him a moment ago. Well, his chances disappeared during the third qualification run. Really high backside tail grab, landed too far into the pipe though. John Summers. Iker Fernandez from Spain. And Peter Line showing us his unique style, tweaking the trick to his limit. Peter would end up doing a very good job as an announcer too. Those guys would not be in the semis. This man would. Hawkinson, cruising through qualifications, always doing just as much as he has to get through to the next round. The characteristic flare, always going high. One of the highest tail grabs and McTwists of the day. That's Terry Hawkinson from Finland. And Todd Richards and Sebu, all my heroes. He would not make it to the semis.
It's in this contest we're competing.
4 runs in the semifinals. And the first of the 16, Aleski Vaninen from Finland. Nice air in the night air at Gerlos in the Tyrol of Austria. Riding the pro circuit for 7 years and rides like his music, smooth and nice. Aleski Vaninen from Finland making his bid. This the backside 540 mutes. You can see what a great atmosphere they built up for this contest. The Grand Slam, $100,000 for the winner. Lots of money gone into this halfpipe. Sebi Kuhlberg going next. The Burton 24-year-old. Comes from Finland. Representing himself and the spirit of snowboarding during the Olympic Games. One of the darlings of the public. Lots of rotations and high airs from Kuhlberg, the Finnish hero. Gimme a McTwist with a mute grab, will you? The selfie-facing French rider, Guillaume Chastanol, never compromises in the halfpipe, 24 years of age. Been on a pro circuit. Look at that beautiful jump there, the Hakkinen flip. 3 years ago, he joined the circuit and Rookie of the Year immediately. He'll be in Nagano too, always going for it. See that fakey Hakken flip again. From Chastanol, the Frenchman. This sport really big in Scandinavia. And here's another Finn, Tero Ainonen, member of the airwalk team. Huge stale fish. The backside method. And this is a man who says his best is yet to come. We look forward to that. The 24-year-old Tero Ainonen from Finland. Fakie 900. Fakie, of course, means going into the jump off his unorthodox foot, his weaker foot, if you like. So next, yet another Scandinavian, Roger Hjelmstadström from Norway, the great Norwegian hope. He won the Junior World Championships last year. A cover boy on lots of the snowboard magazines ever since. And his runs have lots of variety and a lot of panache too. Look at that, fantastic. Some nice straight airs and some really good high spins. Hjelmstadström from Norway. Here's one man who's even better known in Norway. It is, of course, Terje Håkansson, the legend. If he decides he's going to ride, almost invariably, he's up there at the top. He's won just about everything there is to win on the snowboard circuit and shows what terrific variety he's got. Even though he's not been riding halfpipe this season, he uses the hand at the end just for a change. The Mute McTwist from Håkansson. Homegrown talent here in Austria, Steve Gruber. 2 years on the pro circuit, that's all, 21 years of age, and he's in the top rankings ever since. Really loving this marathon of snowboarding. Just to remind you, this started at 8 o'clock in the morning, and these guys are still at it, as you can see, late at night. Gruber from Austria. Going big. Pelchat, the Canadian champ, JF to his friends, a new face to many Europeans, and impressive the whole day long with his riding. French-Canadian seemed to have no problems at all. The big surprise of the day. JF Pelchat from Canada. Eight more semi-finalists to come in the Gerlos Grand Slam of snowboarding. Stay where you are. World here, in advance of the Olympic Games, trying to get their act together, hoping for a gold medal in Nagano, but right here hoping for $100,000 to put in their back pocket. Charlie from Chamonix. McTwisting at the end there. One of the great stars of this sport, Bab Charlet from Chamonix. The 540 tail grab in slow-mo for you. And next, Germany's bright hope, Hoffmann. 23 from Oberbayern. And this year, Zauer Hoffmann has impressed everybody with his smooth riding. He's been placed pretty high throughout the year. And here he is in the semis in the Grand Slam. That's very good. He thought so too. Why not? $720. Lots of big stars, and all trying to prove that they are worthy of their position in the final. Bertie Deneveau, one of the great names, did well at Winter X last year in the United States. 7 years on the ISF Pro Tour. Still one of Europe's top riders with jumping like that. He's won just about everything. 7 times the world champion, he could almost call himself. Frontside 720 from Bertrand Deneveau, the Swiss ace. And another top rider from Switzerland, Fabien Roa. Quite a showman, this boy. Leading the ISF World Pro Tour for some time, 23 years of age, and a really consistent rider in the halfpipe. Haken flip from the boy from Switzerland. Good clean air, lots of height. And lovely frontside airs. Lovely tail grab as well to finish. One of the favorites for the Olympics. Watch out for his Haken flip. And one of those everybody's been waiting for, America's favorite for the Olympics, 28 years of age, Todd Richards from Colorado. He's a great skater, and he ain't bad at snowboarding either. Big McTwist, Haken flip, going for all the big ones, and unfortunately, just missing that. Bad luck. Bit of a shame, really. Couldn't pull himself back into this battle. So it'll be good night to Todd Richards. But the Europeans will look forward to seeing him in the future. They're pretty familiar with this fellow already, Daniel Frank from Norway, one of the strongest riders in competition. Been leading the field pretty much all day with huge straight airs and even bigger spins like that. The crowd really rooting for Daniel. Was he going to lead to the very end? Look at this. Guaranteed a place in the final with this kind of jumping. 720 late Indy, Daniel Frank. And then it was Ross Powers, the new kid on the block in snowboarding in the United States. Since the moment he stepped into competition at 15, he's been doing some terrific stuff. Now at 18, a real force and a big hope for Olympic medals. Ross Powers showing he can do a 720 as good as anybody. Back to the Swiss, Michi Alban, one of the most entertaining of the young snowboarders, 21-year-old, never compromises, and really focused on improving his riding skills and making a good show rather than what the result might be. Let's just go big and have fun. Always good for huge airs. Michi finishes the run with a high inverted spin. Good stuff.
Hey Mickey, you're getting huge air. You enjoying the pipe?
For sure I do. Pipe is really good. Everybody's riding. It's going off. Level is really high. One of the best competition.
Crowd's going off too. Look how many people here late at night at Gerlos for the Grand Slam, getting ready for the super final. 8 taking part, reaching for the stars. Daniel Frank, Haakenson, Roa, Ross Powers, Bab Charlet, Roger Helmstadtsturn, Sebu Kuhlberg, and J.F. Pelchat. Those are the people who'll be competing for the big bucks. Plus, Nicola Tost from Germany, one of the 2 women who made it to the super final. The German rider, known for getting as much air as the men, very nearly. 20 years of age. Another Olympic favorite. Member of the Nitro team. Third on the world ranking list. She's got a tough battle with the other women who made it into the super final in Gerlos, mind you. And she is Minna Hesso from Finland. Minna has been a professional for 4 years, and she is leading in the world rankings. She's 21, Salomon team member, and started the season with some really impressive results in the World Cup. It's Minna Hesso who's been leading the women throughout the day here at Gerlos. With routines like that, and the smile helps too. So, the competition rules for the final. Each rider, 3 runs. The best 2 count, the other one is discarded. J.F. Pelchat goes for the big one. Expected back in Canada the next day to qualify for the Olympics. Good clean part of this run to start with, then disaster. Going for the rodeo flip. He breaks his shoulder. It'll cost him his place at Nagano. And that was it at Gerlos. So next to go is Helmstadtsturm. Doing well all day long. Never seemed to get tired. After his first run in the super final, he was 5th. 3 runs altogether. And loves to have fun. Really getting the crowd on his side with those straight airs, incredible spins. Finishing with a McTwist. Sebo Kuhlberg, second run, super final. The Flying Finn. See how low he gets in between the jumps, tucks down, and a good variety. Nice control. Kuhlberg, cool performer. 720 Indy. Alley-oop, McTwist. It's back with fabulous Fabian. It's Roa from Switzerland. The first run, only 6th place for him, but back in the second, and even better in the third. Very strong mentally, this Swiss rider. Never gives up. Known to be one of his best points. There was the hack and flip. Good grab there. And that ain't bad either. The rail flip. And look how long he just hangs in the air. Method to fakie. And a lovely hack and flip. So after Fabien Roa's third run, what could Bab Charlet do? 4th after his first run. Would he be overtaken by a Fabien Roa or not? Well, this was the run that assured his place. Or perhaps it might even put him up into the medals. Babs didn't care. He was just enjoying himself, frankly.
Not a lot of people. We're going up with the skidoo. Very good atmosphere between everybody, and just fun, like snowboarding.
That's what it should be all about. Snowboarding in the halfpipe is above all else about having a good time. The final 3 men and the 2 super women in the Gerlos Grand Slam of snowboarding still to come. Grand Slam of snowboarding. $100,000 to the first man, $30,000 to the second. And here's Ross Powers from the United States, the 18-year-old, full of concentration, Wants to pull off his best run, get a podium place secured. Starting off with some great huge airs, and then the spins coming in. Very good. Finishes it off there with 2 720s. The McTwist and a couple of 720s from Ross Powers. Will it be enough? The man who's been at the forefront all day long, Daniel Frank from Norway. Really impressive. Never seems to get tired. He went flying there. And again, look at the height he gets. Right into the night sky. Superb run down the half pipe. Oh, yes. Fantastic finish as well. Surely Frank must get it. Up and down. He's 6 feet above the half pipe. Massive, as the slow motion shows you. Superb.
I don't really think about the money while I'm competing. I just want to do my best, and if I win money, cool. If I don't, doesn't really matter. But just stoked to be here with my friends.
That's part of the culture of snowboarding and these kind of sports. What to do with the way you live your life and how much money you make. Mind you, $100,000 is pretty tempting, isn't it? Håkansson looks focused. He has the chance of getting that money if he can pull this out. All he's got to do is stand high and bone it out and put in a bigger jump than Daniel Frank. Well, what do you think? You be the judge. Fantastic run. I don't know if it's better than Frank's. They're very, very tight, I would suggest. Cool as a cucumber. Håkansson from Norway. He says, I think there's pressure on everyone. Some riding could have been better. From the others, of course, not from him. Really, really huge jumping from this man. You can see why they name a move after him. The Haken flip, named after Terje Håkansson from Norway, the legend of this sport. But nothing to choose between him and Daniel Frank. So the presentations, Nicola Tost from Germany, who came second amongst the women. And for Minna Hesso, the winner amongst the women, well, $10,000. And worth every penny of it, or cent, I should say, I guess. Congratulations to Minna Hesso. Ross Powers gets the 3rd spot. And second, who would it be, Terje or Daniel? It's Daniel Frank, just 0.3 of a point behind the number 1. Took Frank a second or two to realize he just lost $70,000. Still, he'd earned $30,000 and a magnum of champagne. Well, he's a real stylist in the halfpipe. The stylist, I think. But this man just seems to go on winning. Terje Håkansson, the winner of the first Pro Sieben Grand Slam in Gerlos from Norway. Terje is going to go home with $100,000. Say something to the crowd, he's asked. And Terje thanks the spectators for their support during probably the longest day of snowboarding ever. Remember, it started at 8 in the morning. And it's virtually the next morning now. Look at the way he boned out that jump. Håkansson celebrating his success with champagne on the podium and getting all set for a massive party that is bound to follow. So the final results of the first Pro Seaman Grand Slam of snowboarding. Haakonsen wins it. Daniel Frank second. Ross Power is the young American in third spot. Bab Charlet is fourth.
It's great to have contests like this. You totally learn how to kind of push your limits. The level is this high. And of course, you know, when this much prize money, I think everybody's giving a little extra and trying to psych out a little bit. It's good. Makes you go harder.
So, Nina, you must be stoked. You've won here today in Gerlos in front of a huge crowd. It must have been a great feeling.
Oh yes, and it was really fun too because the vibe was good and lots of spectators. It's a good contest.
But all the riders were here. They gave away that $100 grand for first, and it was a pretty good. It was a crazy contest.
What did you think of the quality of the riders?
I think all the riders were here. I mean, Terry, Daniel, Bobby, everyone was here.